Hi everyone, Gemma here, thanks for watching today. So in this video we're going to be creating an Easter basket. It's a quick and simple make. You don't necessarily need specialty dies. I'm going for an oval front on the basket, so I am using a die for this, but you can create a square basket, a rectangle, etc. and cut with your trimmer if you wish. So the products I'm using in today's video is the Creative Craft Products Easy Fold 5x7 oval die set, as well as the big bow die set from Simply Made Crafts, and I have the Pastel Gingham and Tiny Polka Dots 8x8 paper pack. To make the internal basket or tray, you need 2 pieces of along the 9 1/4 side, score at half, 3 1/2, rotate and score at 3. So 2 pieces of that. For my handle, I've got 2 pieces of 12 by 1 1/4, and I'm going to stick those together to make that nice and strong. Then using the oval die set, I've taken the largest die and I've cut that once. I have that piece there. And then for this piece, I partially cut it. So I've got the oval shape and the score line, and then I've measured this section here, so hopefully you can see that, to 3 inches. So I just placed that on my cardstock, tacked it down, and then when I placed it in my die cutting machine, I sandwiched it between the plates, but the plates just come to about here. So there was no pressure on this last cut line here, and it left me then to trim this piece to 3 inches. I've then taken this matte die and I've cut the gingham cardstock there. So taking the 2 pieces of 9 1/4 by 6, I'm going to fold and burnish along the score lines, so they're all mounting folds. And then once you've done that, we're going to do some trimming. So I've got my 1/2 inch piece here on the left hand side, and working from left to right, I'm going to cut up the first score line to meet this first score line, and rotate and completely remove that rectangle piece there, like so. I'm then going to work my way across to the second score line and cut up to the first score line. So you're freeing those 2 pieces up. And then we're just going to take a wedge off these pieces. So a wedge off there, and a wedge off there. And then a wedge off these 2 tabs here. So you're left with 2 pieces that look like this. So I'm just going to do the same on the second piece. I'm going to attach both pieces together. So I'm going to add quick grab glue to this 1/2 inch tab here. And join both pieces together. So as you're lining them up, you want to make sure that the score lines marry up. If you have a slight overhang at the top, you can always trim that down. And then I'm just going to flip it over and fold the one side and add glue to the last tab, and then flip this side over, so it all should marry up. Now I'm going to turn it up so we can seal up the bottom. So I'm just going to put 1 tab in first. I'm going to use the collal glue this time to help strengthen the base. fold down the side tabs and fold over this tab. Now if you're worrying that this is untidy, this is all going to be covered up by this oval panel here, so don't worry about that too much. You just want to make sure that the box is nice and square, or have square corners then I should say, because it's more of a rectangle. I'm just going to add some pressure in the bottom there with my bone folder. So I'm going to set that to one side and let that dry. Next I'm going to bring in my handle and I'm going to add some collal glue to this to help strengthen the piece, because we're going to have a working handle. So I'm going to attach them together. They've got some time to dry, so you want to attach them together so they've got some time to grab, and then add a curl into the cardstock. It's best to do that before it dries, because it means they'll set in this shape now. So I'm going to set that to one side and let that dry also. Then I'm going to take my oval pieces and I'm going to attach the gingham paper on both sides, and again I'm going to use some collal glue to help strengthen this piece. I'm also going to let those have some time to dry as well before we start punching any holes in those. So while that's drying, I'm going to work on my bow. So I've cut these two pieces in the white cardstock and this in the tiny polka dot. So first of all, you want to add a curve or a curl into the bow. So I'm just using my bone folder to help that along. And then with that curve added, you've got a nice smooth sort of arch there, rather than it folded over if you try to just bend or curl the cardstock over without using your bone folder. So that's attached there. I'm just going to add some quick grab glue on there like so. And again, I like to add a little bit of a curl into this and attach that on the front there. So I think that bow is going to look lovely on the front of the gift basket. So I've just brought in some brads from my stash. I believe I got these from Craft Stash. And I'm going to take two yellow ones ready to attach our handle. So I'm going to use my X-cut hole punch for this. It's got 3 interchangeable heads and I'm going to use the medium one for this. So I'm going to come down about 1 inch and then find the center point, so around about there. You just punch down a couple of times to create the hole. Then I'm going to flip the other piece over and marry those up. Double check that the score lines are correct. And just draw a hole there where I need to punch the second hole. Go. So they should line up. And I'm going to attach these two side pieces now to my tray. So I'm just going to fold and burnish along the score line. I did reinforce this with my scoreboard. So I'm going to put this piece on first, and I think I will just trim a little bit off each side there. So we're just going to add collal glue all along this piece here. And you want to line that up with the bottom score line. So place that in the center so you've got equal spacing on either side, like so. And then I'm just going to add some quick grab glue to this bit here. You could still use the collal glue if you wish. I just want to get that in place. I'm just going to stand that up and add some pressure there with my bone folder. And now we're going to do the same thing with the front. So now that's attached, that forms the front of the bag. So you've got that clean finish as it folds over, and then the back there. So it'll stand like so. So I'll just let that dry and I'll punch some holes into my handles now. So again, I'm just going to find the center point. I'm going to come up about 1/4 inch. Let me just check that. Yep. So I'm going to come up about 1/4 inch. You can take a ruler and a pencil and mark that off if you wish. I'm just going to do it by eye. So I've punched that a couple of times just to make sure that that goes through both layers of the cardstock. And then I'm just going to not fold, but hold this side over and make a guideline of where to punch here. So I've got a bit of an overhang there, so I'm just going to trim that off just to neaten that edge. So you can have the handles on the outside like so, or you could have them on the inside. So I think I'm going to put mine on the inside as a cleaner finish. So there we go, we've got our working handle. So I've added my bow, and I just wanted to add a little something extra. I think this topper here from the Papercraft Essentials issue 222 looks really nice on the front there. So I've popped some foam on the back. Just remove that. And place that in the center there. And then I'm just going to fill my basket with some paper shred. I think I got this from the pound shop. I'm just going to take some out and pop that inside. And I've got some eggs here. I'm not too sure where I got these from. And I'm just going to pop some yellow ones inside. So there's the final gift basket with working handle. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's an unusual shape, and I think it works really well. So let me know what you think in the comments below, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, you might want to hit the like button, leave a comment, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!